Hello fellow BookQuesters, it is I, Aaron the BookQuester. Today I will explain this book. Percy Jackson's Greek Heroes by Rick Riordan. Basically, this book is Rick Riordan's sarcastic writing, sarcastic voice of Percy Jackson telling the most famous Greek mythologic stories that's actually real in Percy Jackson's world. Now, I like this hero. He was the one that Percy was named after, and he originally had very good luck and had a very rare happily ever after. His name was Perseus. So, Perseus defeats a sea monster with the head of Medusa, saving Andromeda, who he later marries. That's Andromeda, that's Perseus, that's the head of Medusa, and that's the sea monster. So basically, Perseus is a hero who was sent to cut off the head of Medusa, who can turn anything they see Medusa's head into flames. And Perseus was supposed to take over a kingdom, and the king wanted Perseus dead, so he sent him to an impossible task, but he actually did it, got a beautiful princess, married, happily ever after. Great, good for him. Psyche receives help in receiving water from a scarred spring. This scarred spring is actually an upstream core that runs down the river Styx, and the Psyche actually undid an oath. She was supposed to not see the true form of Eros, the love god that she happened to marry, but so she was basically punished by Aphrodite. Plus, Psyche was called the new Aphrodite, so Aphrodite was pretty mad. And here, you know this guy, you know him, he's Daedalus, he made the labyrinth. He's the most famous Greek inventor of all time. Daedalus watches in horror as his son Icarus falls from the sky. Well, basically this big sad story. Well, Daedalus had many stories, and his first one that he murdered his nephew and regretted it and fled that place, went to Crete, serviced himself to King Minos, and then a few things, blah blah blah, and then the queen of Crete happened to fall in love with a bull and asked Daedalus for a cow suit for her to marry with the cow, and they got the Minotaur, the famous monster, and so Daedalus was trapped in the labyrinth, but so he made wings and he escaped, but his son Icarus was way too excited, went way too close to the sun, and the wax that's sealing together the feathers was undone, melted, and so without the feathers couldn't fly, drowned. Too bad for you, Daedalus. Whoa, here's the monster. This, mind you, is the monster Minotaur. Theseus conquers the Minotaur. Pretty much a famous story, and Theseus had a mission too. And he was actually the lost son of some king, and he was supposed to inherit the king, and he was pretty much had a attention span of a gerbil. And he got this sword and sandals under a rock that his father left for him, found his father, killed all the ones who wanted to kill his father, and then, defeated the Minotaur who was terrorizing his people. Eating his people, whatever. Atalanta shoots the Callionian boar. So this boar was basically evil and terrorizing some kingdom, and Atalanta, who was actually trashed in the woods, and she was raped by some mama bear, And then she became a great wild warrior who actually wanted to marry but didn't want to marry random people. She shot the boar and she drew first blood. She didn't actually kill it, but she still drew first blood and got the prize. Cyrene punches a lion. Not so famous, but pretty much a good story. And I'm not going to tell you about this because it's more fun to read it than my fast reviews. Come on, people, you know this hero. He was the most famous hero of all time. You know him. His name starts with a capital great H. His name was Hercules. Hercules battles a Hydra. So this Hydra was terrorizing some kingdom, and so Hercules naturally had to kill it. Hydra is a snake monster that looks like this, and every time you cut off a head, 2 more grows in its place. But if you flame the stump, the Hydra's head won't grow back. But then one of the heads is immortal. So basically, the immortal head is still alive and it's almost a god. It's like a god. So basically, Hercules buried the immortal head and put a rock on it. And Jason, quite a famous hero, went to receive the golden fleece. And Jason harnesses King Aztec's bronze bowls. And he was a famous hero, but he has a tragic ending. I really don't like this story. And don't ever trust anyone with a name starts with M. And it's a very great book, full of sarcastic comments and Percy Jackson reviews. And at the last part, a bit of a funny acknowledgement. And like always, your BookQuester and the BookQuester love this book, people. Sarcasm.